Greetings. Welcome. Thank you for joining me here at the Lightroom forecast. Today we're doing the new moon in Aquarius, which happens here in Aotearoa on the 12th. So I guess it's on the 11th and 12th, is it? On the other side of the world, maybe the 11th. So I'll just check that. Oops. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to pull a card for general energies around this Aquarian new moon, which does feel quite positive and expansive. I wish I could think of another word than expansive. But very much a period of time at the moment where individually, collectively, we're really needing to express our true selves. That's the general kind of feeling that I get at the current time. And time's starting to, well, it was sort of starting to speed up, felt like it. Anyway, let's see what the cards have today for this Aquarius moon, this beautiful new moon. Of course, new moons, we like to think of this time as planting new seeds, as expanding on elements that we've been working on, offshoots, things of that nature that haven't fully, well, that we've seen small amounts of fruition, but at this time, but not to its full degree. So general energies, we'll see what the cards are saying. We'll get some clarifying cards as well. I'm using the Thoth deck to begin with. I might come in a bit closer. I feel a bit stuck out there. All right. So overall, overarching energies at this new moon time, please. Can we just get one card, please? Just one card. Let's see. Overarching energies. We get, sorry about the light today, it's a bit funny. We get the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, I guess, you know, it really does go along with this idea of really allowing authenticity, our true, just truly letting ourselves express, devoid of you know, what's going on around us. The Seven of Wands is a beautiful sort of royal blue background card here. And its structure appears to be very, you know, very strong and solid for a wand. It is about standing up for one's own principles. So in this sense, it makes perfect sense in the position of overarching energies. It is about standing up for oneself, for one's integrity. And of course, when we do this, we are, in effect, drawing a boundary line. Oops. So overarching energies, interesting. It's a nice card to have, you know. Principles, what we believe in. Let's see our choice at this time. Our choice or choices. Aquarius at this time, collectively around the world. We get 2 cards coming out. Wow. We get 2 cards coming out. The first card is the Empress. The second card, the 3 of Discs. So we're looking at the Empress being this wonderful, creative, nurturing figure. Everything that you would think of the idea of a mother is, I guess, is the Empress. We're choosing to go with our hearts as the basis of working with others, is what we see in the 3 of Discs, this very strong pyramid shape, which is moving. It's wheeled up, as you can see, even though it's sort of from an abstract aerial sort of view here. The 3 of Discs is about working with others, is about collaboration and collaborative effort. Projects underway, projects about to begin. And it's a great card to have in unison with the beautiful Empress. See, it's hard to see in this light, but if it focuses, see, I love it. I love it. And of course, in the Empress, there is a alchemical, a kind of a salt element and alchemical crystallization going on within this card also. Wonderful connection to the great seas of the goddess, the great seas of Bina, within the tree of life. There's huge expanse here, expanse of potential, in combination with this 3 of Discs. What is a very material card, a card of working with others, and working with others from the basis of coming from the heart center, largely from this creative, nourishing zone. So that's pretty beautiful. It's quite lovely. We'll just go through. I mean, and this is a really, obviously, it's a collective reading. Whoopsies, I'm dropping these cards. It is a collective reading. It won't resonate with everyone, but if you get something out of it, that's fantastic. You know, the cards, we tell stories with the cards. We're reminded of circumstances, of situations, of states of being human. So that's another way of looking at it. You know, it is symbolic viewing, which can be quite helpful to have a level of objectivity in situations that can be very helpful. So let's just see. So we've got this defending of principles. We have as our choice the beautiful Empress and the 3 of Discs. What are potential obstacles at this time? And of course, obstacles, well, can be advantages also. Right. It's almost as if, so we get 2 cards coming out in the obstacle zone position, I should say. It's almost as if, and I was getting that feeling over the last few days of certain things, be they memory or things that reminding one of past events, people, situations coming up. There's a reason why I'm talking about this. I don't want to lose the thread here. Over the last few days, been reminded of aspects of the past. They don't belong here and now. but for some reason, sort of the slight regurgitation, but external things triggering that regurgitation of things from the past that don't belong here. What we get in the position of obstacles today, we get 2 cards. The first one, the beautiful Princess of Discs, pregnant with new creative projects, with new beginnings. We're just about to see the seasonal change in the bare trees at the back of this beautiful figure. The bear. We're waiting for those first leaves to appear. And of course, we see the pregnant princess awaiting birth. It's just still in gestation phase. Obstacles, well, we get the 5 of Cups, a card of understanding. Obviously, loss, disappointment. That's why I'm talking, that's why I mentioned, of things of a past nature. I think there's a need to be patient. I think being patient is kind of a key here. That this whatever this is, whether it's a creative venture, work venture, creative work venture, whatever it is, it's just taking a little bit of time to come through. It doesn't mean its non-appearance at this point is a loss for you, is what I get in this. It just means it's time. It's the timing of its appearance. Possibly we don't have total control over that timing. So it's not to be, the obstacle is not to be too quick and being disappointed by a non-appearance, which is actually in the pipeline, if that makes sense. If that makes sense for you people out there. Interesting that. Is as if everything is in place at this time. Everything's in place for, it reminds me of, that preparation, that all the preparation has been done. It's just a matter of waiting for this landing, for something to land here, to come through. And I think there is I think we are all getting new information. I mean, just even generally, globally, there is a lot of uncertainty, but ultimately people continue on with life and whatever we keep trying to enjoy simple things, and we keep doing what we do. That's all we can do. Anyway, so let's see. Traits for ease here. In this waiting, what feels like a waiting period, waiting for something to come through, to land. And of course it can be new information. It's important, I think, to know where you stand currently. Just get one card. Oopsie. Sorry about that. I'll just bend over. We just wanted one card. Wow. So, traits for ease, traits for success at this time. We get the stunning, beautiful, oh God, I just thought for a moment, we get abundance. Yes, of course, it's a Three of Cups. Sorry, I was just thinking, oh no, is it? This is a stunning card, and it reminds me of those gorgeous, people don't really make jelly that much anymore, do they? All the gelatine, but I'm sure there's an alternative gelatine source. But those gorgeous, like a multi-tiered jelly in a mold, and you can see the light shining right through it. This card reminds me of that. It's a card of celebration. It's a card of abundance. It's a card of celebrating with friends and the general joie de vivre of life. We understand what's important to us. We understand that simple pleasure, I think that's beautiful at this time. So traits in the position of traits for ease, be open to celebrate if you can. And, something that I read once was, and I am thinking in this celebratory card, of people that maybe are in a lockdown or something like that, because that is what's happening around a lot of the world. I was just thinking of that, but I read somewhere, I can't remember what the source was, but is that when you feel those times when you feel at your lowest ebb, generally, and it's not being flippant, it was something like throw yourself an amazing party, even if you're the only one there. And maybe you can talk to one person on the phone at the same time. Just do something wild like that. It's not being flippant. It's just we do need to remember to celebrate the simple things. And this card is about celebration with others, but it's an understanding of what that means for you. And that in order to be able to celebrate with others, I guess there's an understanding that one needs to, I guess, be feeling, in the mood to do that, because otherwise you're not going to do it, obviously. But it is a card, the simple appreciation, the appreciation of the most simplest things in this life. And I do get from this first row, the elements of, maybe elements of expectations around timing and around what is so difficult to, expectations are often disappointed because we want something in the package that we imagined it, and it may well present in a package that we never really thought of before, but it's really amazing. That's the other thing I get from this. So let's just go through and and we'll clarify. We're using the Morgan Greer to clarify, and towards the end of this reading, we'll pull a journey map, Brian Froud, and a little star card. So let's just clarify. So all in all, it looks like there's a general theme to stand up for our principles, our ideas, our personal truth. Let ourselves express freely. There's also the other aspect of the Seven of Wands. Then we come into this beautiful, in the choice zone, this beautiful heart-based nurturing Empress with collaboration, with working with others. Ideally, we want to, we want to approach that from cannot, building something, collaborative efforts be, yes, we come across trials and tribulations, but can it not be a pleasurable, mutually nurturing experience? And I believe that that is the case. We can choose this. Okay, anyway, let's clarify a wee bit here. Let's clarify the Seven of Wands, please. The Seven of Wands, where we're standing up. We're standing up. We might be standing up against, or not standing up against, but the Seven of Wands, we get the Ten of Discs, which is about absolute material wealth. It's about wealth of family as well. It's about wealth of belonging. It is a 10, so it's, I always think, it is a cyclical card in some ways, as all the numbers in the suits are. So the 10 of Discs, in terms of standing up for ourselves, defending principles, it's just drawing our own boundary line. With the 7, it can often, the 10 of Discs can often represent, our family and immediate environment. It can work in many different ways. Often can be very supportive of, someone just wanting to, and this is an Aquarian thing too, someone wanting to maybe make some choices that are more in tune with where they're at the current time. Sometimes the family unit, or the group of people that are around you don't really want you to. I'm not suggesting that that's the case, but it can be something that happens often, and that's very difficult. That can create some difficult scenarios with that 10 of Discs. So let's keep moving through, and we'll see this beautiful Empress and the 3. Just interested in that 3 of Discs. Then this is a choice here. Wow, it looks like it's going to be a great choice. This choice to move on within these collaborative scenarios, building new foundations. This is what it's about, the 3 of Discs. So with that card, if you're talking business or anything, but we get the card, the 6 of Wands, coming out with that. Now, the 6 of Wands, as you probably know, is a card of winning. It's a card of coming home the victor. Winning often through being or being celebrated for your role, for being of service. Often it is about that, of being service to others. Yeah. And with that, we also had the beautiful 6 of Discs, the generous man or woman with a very deep purse. And it is about mutual generosity, giving, receiving. It's a beautiful card because in some ways, even though it's a card of the earth, of the material world, he lubricates the wheels of commerce, as it were, and has this sort of innate, could you say faith or innate understanding that it is like water and it goes out and it comes back. So there's a great generosity with this card. I think they're pretty marvellous, actually. I mean, we know what the Empress is all about, and she's in her seat of power. It's based on creativity and love without agenda. So when we have these cards coming up, and this is collaborative, this is building a new foundation of sorts with the winning Seven of Wands and the Six of Discs. It's quite a beautiful combo. It's quite a gorgeous combination here. Let us see. Let us see. In the position of obstacles where we appear with the Princess of Discs. It's quite disky, isn't it? It's quite earthy reading with this princess. And the understanding of, 3 cups on the ground, 2 still upright, full. We understand loss. We understand maybe having expectations that we don't see being fulfilled yet, but the sheer fact is that this is going to present itself in a way that is largely determined by timing and possibly an open heart of your choices thus far, which look pretty wise when we see working with others can bring great personal satisfaction, but great collective bounty as well for everyone concerned. Everyone in the village is celebrating this knight or knightess. It's quite interesting. Anyway, or did I forget to keep shuffling? Let's get a card for this Princess of... And as I said before, that element of things from the past coming up, presenting themselves, as if this 5 of Cups is a reminder of something that has happened in the past, but belongs in the past, because it has passed. For this obstacle position of the fact that we've got this pregnant princess giving birth to something new is not an obstacle. It's the waiting is the obstacle, and having unrealistic expectations. We're bringing things from the past potentially into this. I say this again because we had 2 cards pop out to clarify this. Oh, wow. To clarify this. This couldn't be any clearer to me, and I'll show you why. So we see, I'm repeating myself, I know, but I have to keep my train of thought. Giving birth to some beautiful new thing here, and it's seasonal, and it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of divine timing. While we wait in our trying to be patient, we're bringing in aspects of the past as if it's a fait accompli, as if we're going to be disappointed or our expectations will not be met. So we're bringing something from the past into the present where it doesn't belong. We do it all the time. This is the past. So that past, again, it's a 10. And you know what? I do get this feeling if we head back to overarching, the overarching sort of energies where we're standing up for our truth, our own personal truth, and we get that other 10 of discs here. You know, for some people, maybe it's quite a specific read, but for some people, they may well be. You know, it just doesn't suit their immediate family, their the people around them are kind of a bit like, oh, what are you doing? You're crazy, or whatever it is. I seem to be going backwards and forwards, sorry. And so the 10 comes up with this beautiful princess about to give birth to something new. There's a memory of loss. There's a memory of melancholy and disappointment. And this is that memory. This is in the past, and it has passed. It's past. It's like a wee ghost that comes up to remind you of, you know, the worst possible scenario, anxiety, catastrophic thought. Here. It doesn't belong here. It's past. It's just flown off. Because the thing is, in that position where the princess is giving birth, the princess of discs, to something new, and we just have to be patient and not overanalyze. We get the queen. We get the queen of discs. This is an elevation. It is the princess is graduating to a queen. And don't take it on as a gender thing. It's just, it's not about that. So the princess is graduating to this gorgeous, strong queen. Now that queen, I can tell you, she looks right back at that memory. That does not belong here, but what it does give her is the strength, is great strength, because she remembers that. It's not stopping anything here. It's not stopping something marvelously amazing coming through. If you don't want it to, you know, it's that sort of anxious thinking and catastrophic thinking. If something doesn't arrive when you think it will, don't worry about it, because we get the queen. This is quite amazing. This is quite interesting. It's quite amazing. There's a bit of a story here, and it might be quite specific to someone, but this is a very general reading for the collective at the Aquarian new moon. And it seems so, it is an elevation, and therefore there is some new information, new understanding coming through for you, which I think is about, this is the time at the moment. You know, so many planets are in Aquarius. I'm not an astrologer, but and we have this beautiful new moon, seeds, planting. We're maybe not seeing these offshoots of projects that we've been involved with taking off to the degree that they might yet, but it seems to indicate that that is in the pipeline, and it is going to happen. It's really interesting. So this, excuse me, this new moon in Aquarius, where there's some big stuff coming through to us. And I mean that in terms of information, even thinking about what, if you can remember your dreams over the next week or so, just see what happens up there in the dream time. Wow. Anyway, I'm focus here. Focus. I've got a tonnage of cards here. I'll have to keep shuffling. It's just too many. There's too many. Oh, look. 2 of them came out. clearly to one side here. But I'm going to, this is the whole beginning of it. It is the whole beginning of a new cycle. I'm still going to shuffle to get some clarity on the Three of Cups. But, so here we see it again. New information, yeah. And with that, we do propel up another rung on this wheel, on the ladder of sorts. New information, understanding how our own mind works, really. We see disappointment. We see this. But we have the Wheel of Fortune, my friends. This is part of a whole new cycle. Yet again, everything is about cycles. This is part of a whole new cycle for you, dear friends out there. Oh my lordy. Part of a whole new cycle for you. We're just free falling, free flow. We get the star, the ultimate Aquarian card. It is an Aquarian card. The bridge, the transmitter. That's beautiful. The water bearer, the conductor. And it is like a conductor card, like water conducts energy, electricity. It's an amazing bridge between the heavens, between the earth, between understanding as Aquarians do, the importance of collective endeavour, coming together, creating stuff within groups, centered around the collective and individually driven in this way. Very collective thinkers and very much individuals at the same time. It's a beautiful card. It's the Aquarian card. Right. Now let's have a wee look at the Three of Cups, please. What is the Three of Cups here? The celebration. It's like a celebration. Traits for ease. Hang on. It's just so too many cards. Just one card for this after we get this beautiful star card. Traits for ease. Enjoy the simple things around you at this current time. It's about if you have the opportunity to get together with other people, even on the phone. Simple enjoyment of others seems to be in here as well. Oh look, these cards are going all over the place. I'll probably just we'll just get a bit grounded here. Just a bit grounded. Three of Cups, please, for the beautiful collective situation happening at this time. We get the Nine of Wands, which in this reading today, when we're looking at the celebratory card of the Three of Cups, as a sort of panacea for ease at this time. We get the Nine of Wands, which is a card of, it's a very habit-driven card, and it is traditionally often called the Wounded Warrior, because his battles from past, he's still in defense. So there is a theme. There's a few different things running through this reading, and of course one of them is this habitual carrying. That's a lot of wand to carry. That's a lot of defensive will to carry. Wounded warrior. What would be a better way of overcoming this, I wonder? What would be a way of overcoming it? Is understanding that possibly it doesn't belong in the present, that it is just habit over time and from the past. With that Three of Cups, the Three of Cups is the panacea here. Celebration in the most simplest form. But yeah, there's a few different layers to this. I'll just get one more card and then we'll get a just one more card, please, for the Nine of Wands here with the Three of Cups, which let's see. Oops. So we get three. So we say, we get three cards. We don't want to overcomplicate this because there's a few different threads running through this reading for some reason. We get the Emperor, a great benevolent figure, and in fact, husband to the Empress. So when we see the Empress in the position of choice, we want to go the benevolent route. You don't want to carry the burdens from the past anymore. We don't want them entering this current time and putting the kibosh, as it were, on potentials in the pipeline. The Emperor is very much the Empress's consort, and in his highest polarity is just like the quintessential masculine superhero is what I view him as. And you know, it's equality. We're not talking gender. So we get the Emperor. We get this review. The farmer traditionally looking at his crop. The Seven of Discs, thinking, well, all that effort. God, what have I got out of that? I think in this reading today, there may be, on some level, a directive for patience. Still definitely high encouragement to stand up, stand within, you know, expressing your, for want of a better word, authentic self. With the Seven of Discs, this was the third card. They all came out together. You know, at this point, our crops might not look like all the effort and work that somehow was exerted along the way, and we think, oh God, wasted effort. No effort is ever wasted. We find the Hierophant. To me, the Hierophant, some people read him as institutions, as in governments, councils, the church, which is understandable because traditionally, if you were reading tarot cards years ago, the church, whatever church it was, wherever you were, was probably running the government or the kingdom. I look at it as esoteric information. I look at it as being handed a key, that this information is, the time is ripe and right to receive it, and it often indicates a new spiritual understanding, possibly a more expansive, extended perspective on what our values are, is just what I'm getting from this reading. And very interesting for this new moon, this beautiful new moon in Aquarius, and the cards just sort of kept just wanting to fall out in great piles. So now we're going to get a journey map card, and then we'll get a Brian Frood, and then a little star card. Brian Froud, beautiful, light-hearted, very oracle. Not all of them, are they? Most of them. We'll get a journey map for this reading. Yeah. Look, this is, I don't think this card's come out before. Some of them haven't. They're a bit shy. We get imaging. We see this egg of sorts on just coming into a physical form. This is about the power of, I guess, visualization, but with everything, whether it's an object, a scenario, a situation, speaking back through that reading about thought forms, anxious thinking, catastrophic thinking, fait accompli, sabotage, basically. The power of those sort of visual images and the repetitive nature often of them, whether positive or negative, they hold a lot of power to allow something to come through, allow something to come into your life. If we think about it like this, it sort of means that you're unlimited. You're only limited by what your mind sort of limits itself to. Everything started with a thought. Everything starts with an image. Now you can run with that ball or not, but everything starts in this way, and it's so important. And it also means that the other aspect of this card is that what we are giving birth to often presents in different ways. So it's sort of like having a wide range. You start with this image, thought, whatever it is. But at some point in that process, and you're working with that and with the world, the universe, your world around you, and actioning things and all the rest of it, etc., there's a point where you don't have any control. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have control. It's like you start the ball rolling. There's a point where it has to play out the way it plays out. And the less attached you are to the outcome, this is what I'm trying to explain, the less attached you are to the outcome, the better. That's what I'm trying to explain. So, yeah. Oh, this is really interesting. This is really interesting reading. I'm kind of losing myself a bit in it. I'm losing, because there's a few different things going on here. Whatever's going on here, we just get a Brian Froud card here from the Fairy Oracle. Whatever's going on here, and there's a few different things going on here, probably for a few different people. Whatever is going on, we get Lozguna, who liken it to, we would talk about movement. We talk about movement and things deciding to, actually this is physical movement. You know that sound when you're like practically knee deep in mud and you pull your gumboot out and it goes, you know, this is Lozguna. She's on the move. It's about transporting yourself to a new zone, or it's just about moving. It can be about moving physically, moving home, or moving your place of residence. It can be about discovering places in your immediate sphere also that you've overlooked, about seeing the detail in your immediate environment. And I think this kind of hooks into that celebratory Three of Cups. But I think it also is connected with imaging. Whatever your situation at the moment, dear people, whatever it happens to be, and wherever you happen to be, either limited within or not, something amazing is going to come out of this whole thing. This is just, there's a few different narratives going on in here, but this is what I'm feeling. We'll just get a star card here. Just get one little star card for this beautiful new moon in amazing Aquarius. Wow. For these times, I don't think it could be any more beautiful, really. Your divine guidance is helping you. This is the card that popped out for you today. Collectively, wherever you are, this seems to be a theme for this new moon in Aquarius. The narratives I get here are that there's a drive to fly your own flag, to really be and look into and discover all those things you really wanted to do. And maybe immediate circumstance, people, whatever it is, finding that a tricky adjustment or whatever. There's a few different things. There's waiting for a project, a collaboration to appear. Oh, look, there's an elevation from the princess to the queen, just through sheer mind. We get the Aquarian card of the star, beautiful star. we get the turning of the wheel of fortune. It's just full of it. We've got super info coming through where the Hierophant's saying, here we are, here you go. And it's all about this. It's all about that, following that. Keep the little ears open. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got something from this reading. It was really sort of all over the place. So thank you for tuning in to the Lightroom forecast. Please do like, share and subscribe. It really helps me to keep going and keep everything chugging along. So thank you so much. Do check out the chakra readings if you've seen them on here. We've just got up to the sacral chakra today. Again, that's a really general reading, like these moon readings are, but we cannot help but be influenced by beautiful Tamarama up there in the sky. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take good care. Take good care. And we'll see you. We'll see you soon.